Alright guys, it is March 30th, 2025, and I hope everybody's been having a wonderful weekend so far. In today's video, I want to talk about something that I have talked about on this channel many times, but I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep making videos about it. There's going to be a new video about this topic probably about once a month, because I just find this topic to be such an important topic to talk about on here. Because it's something that has led to a heck of a lot of problems for me personally. And what that is pancreatitis. Pancreatitis, because I had pancreatitis so many times, it's just led to a whole host of other issues that I've been dealing with because of the pancreatitis, and because I never did anything about the pancreatitis. I would get pancreatitis and wouldn't go to the doctor. I just refused to go. I didn't know what was happening. I knew something bad was happening, but I was too afraid to go to the hospital or go see a doctor about it. And like I was saying the other day, often I would just stop drinking and it would go away, until the last time. Well, the time that I got sick and ended up in the hospital, that time it wasn't going away. And that time I was bleeding internally, and it just led to a whole bunch of problems while I was in the hospital. If I look like my eyes are all puffy and everything right now, the pollen out here it is so bad. I don't know if you guys can pick up on that, but it's like, you can see that yellow stuff all over my hands. It is everywhere. There's clouds of pollen just like blowing through the air. We're supposed to get rain here in just a little bit. I think it's about 12:30 right now. I figured I probably need to go ahead and come out here and film. Otherwise, I was going to be stuck filming downstairs, and my whole family's home today too, trying to keep my kids quiet, and I just can't stand filming inside either. So I figured I needed to go ahead and come out here and film before the rain came in, and that'll help wash the pollen away and, help to level it out a little bit because of the moisture in the air. But it's bad out here right now, and it's really bothering my eyes. It's just drying them out so bad right now, and they're just like swollen. So anyway, I just wanted to take it. If I look like I'm stoned or something, it's the pollen in the air that's getting to me. Like I was saying, today I want to talk about pancreatitis, because this is a really important topic. So many people end up with pancreatitis because of their consumption. Like I was saying, not all pancreatitis is created equal either. Not all pancreatitis is caused because of alcohol. There are a lot of people here on this channel who have got pancreatitis and they don't even drink. And there's a lot of reasons why you can get pancreatitis. One of them is medications can cause pancreatitis. And I'm going to get into that in just a few minutes, causes of pancreatitis and all that stuff. But, once again, I think it's just one of those things that I'm going to talk about probably once a month. I'll do a video about this because, the channel gets put out there in the algorithm. How all that stuff works, I don't know. And I don't really care to find out. I've never really done a bunch of research into it. I just make the videos, and I'm not into all the figuring out all the data and all that kind of stuff. I just make videos, and if they get out to people, they get out to people. I want the videos to get more people because I want more people to learn about this stuff, but how all that stuff works. So I'm just going to continue to make a video probably once a month on pancreatitis and cirrhosis as well, because somebody gets this video get put up on somebody's recommended feed, and they'll see that title, maybe pancreatitis, and they'll go, I wonder what that is. I've heard about it once or twice. Let me click on this video and watch it. And that's what I'm hoping this video does today as well, is that this video finds new people and educates them on what this is and why staying sober and staying away from alcohol is so important. Because this is one of those things that you just do not want to end up with. There are so many people on this channel who have had pancreatitis in the past. There's people on here who have chronic pancreatitis like I do. And one of the subscribers who's got chronic pancreatitis was just in the hospital just a few weeks ago because of pancreatic problems. Once you end up with chronic pancreatitis, it's a lifelong issue after that. And you will become very familiar with something called an ERCP. It's basically an endoscopy where they can go in there and use tools and You know, they can go in there and like do things. When they do an endoscopy, they're basically just going there with a camera and looking around. But when they do an ERCP, they have little tools and claws and things like that, and they can get in there and actually do work. They can do biopsies on the pancreas and things of that nature. They can drain pseudocysts. They can place stents and stuff like that in ERCPs. I've had so many ERCPs. I've lost count. I have absolutely no idea how many I've had at this point now, but it's because of the amount of pancreatitis, the times I've had pancreatitis in the past. And I would get pancreatitis, like I was saying the other day, and would not go to the doctor. I had no idea what was going on. I would get extremely ill. My stomach and my back would hurt so bad, and then I'd say, okay, I'm not drinking for a while. I'd stop drinking for a week. The pancreatitis would go away. I would get to feeling better and then always make the excuse, well, I'm just going to drink for today, or I'm only going to drink once a week. You know the routine. And then I'm right back in the cycle again until the next time I got pancreatitis again, which would usually be somewhere in the range of 2 to 3 months. I was right back in that situation again. I'd do it again. I'd quit drinking for a few days, pancreatitis go away, and then I'd go back to drinking again. It was always the same story until the time that I ended up in the hospital. And that time, quitting drinking didn't help, and I had stopped drinking during that period of time. I say that my sobriety date is May 16th. I'd actually gotten sober like 4 or 5 days leading up to this before I ended up in the hospital, but I just say May 16th because that's the day that I went to the hospital. But like I said, it was a few days before, and I had stopped drinking thinking, okay, well, I'll just get better. And that's why I didn't go to the doctor, because every single time I'd stop drinking, it'd get better, and then I'd go back to drinking again. Well, this time I was throwing up black stuff, black coffee grinds. I was bleeding internally. Just stopping drinking was not going to help this situation. And once again, that's why I want to talk about this, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are probably ending up in these same situations, and they're not doing anything about it either. And pancreatitis can be life-threatening, guys. It truly can. And it's one of those things, if you end up with pancreatitis, you need to go see a doctor, go to the hospital or something. It's quick blood work. I mean, very quick blood work that can decipher if you have pancreatitis or not. And a very fast CAT scan. They can put you in the CAT scan machine. They can do an x-ray. I think they can find it on a sonogram too, but they can take a look at your pancreas and tell if you're in the middle of pancreatitis or not. And pancreatitis is just inflammation of the pancreas. But anyway, let's talk about how you can end up with pancreatitis. And once again, I just think this is one of those videos because so many new people are coming here to the channel, and they're not going to scroll through 430 something videos to look at all the topics and titles that I have. So once a month, I'm going to make a video about pancreatitis or about cirrhosis. And if you don't want to watch this one today, I completely understand, because this is all information and data that you've heard, 100 times before on this channel. I completely get that. If you want to stick around, that's cool. I appreciate it. If you've heard me talk about this 1,000 times, I really appreciate you hanging around and watching today's video. But I completely understand if you don't want to watch, because this is repeated material. But once again, there are so many new people here to the channel that I just feel like it's important for me to discuss this again, especially for the newer people that are here to the channel. So once again, what causes pancreatitis? Well, there are quite a few things that can cause pancreatitis, and I just want to reiterate that not all pancreatitis is caused because of alcohol consumption, but majority of pancreatitis is. So one of the things that can cause it is gallstones. And what happens is that you can end up with a gallstone in your gallbladder, and then the gallstones can break loose, or they can come out of the gallbladder. And your gallbladder and your pancreas basically sit like right across from each other. And a gallstone can fall out of your gallbladder, and then it can get over into your pancreatic duct and get stuck, and it can get lodged in there. And when it gets stuck in your pancreatic duct, well, your pancreas creates pancreatic enzymes that are released when you eat food. Your pancreas has two functions. Your pancreas creates insulin, and it also creates pancreatic enzymes that help break your food down. And when you eat, your pancreas gets stimulated, and it'll release those pancreatic enzymes into your small intestine to help break the food down. But if a gallstone falls across and gets stuck in that pancreatic duct, well, now those pancreatic enzymes can't escape the pancreas. So what ends up happening is those pancreatic juices or enzymes, they stay inside the pancreas, and they start to digest your pancreas from the inside out, which is called autodigestion. So that's one way that you can get pancreatitis. And if you get a gallstone stuck in your pancreatic duct, that's when an ERCP comes into play. They'll go down your throat, they'll take those specific tools, and they'll go in there and look, and they'll find where that gallstone is stuck in that pancreatic duct. They'll pull that out and then go in there and clean out your pancreatic duct. Maybe they'll place a stent in there to keep it open. But I keep hitting this microphone. But it's one of those reasons that going to the doctor, going to the hospital, if you think you have pancreatitis, is so important, because sometimes just stopping drinking is not going to fix it. Sometimes they need to go in there and remove things, which I've had to have them go in there. My pancreatic duct was completely closed off. And how it got closed off, they're not exactly sure. There wasn't anything in there, just the duct had just closed. And my pancreas was eating itself. And I went to a local hospital. We had just gone to Disney World, and we had just got back. And I'm thinking, I'm just really tired, not feeling well, because we had done so much at Disney World. But come to find out, because I wasn't getting better. And I finally went to the emergency room. They did a CAT scan. They sent that CAT scan down to my pancreatic specialist down in MUSC in Charleston. And once that CAT scan went to him, he spoke to the hospitalist at the local hospital here and said, send him down here now. So I went straight down to Charleston because they wanted to do an ERCP immediately, because he saw that my pancreatic duct was completely closed off. If I had not have gone to the hospital, who knows what would have happened. And once again, it wasn't just stopping drinking that would have solved that. So gallstones can cause it. Alcoholism, AUD, excessive alcohol consumption can cause pancreatitis. Trauma. And I spoke about this, but I was in the hospital not that long ago. Had an ERCP done, or I can't remember what I was in there for, but there was a guy that was across the hall, and I'm pretty sure I was in there having an ERCP done, but there was a guy across the hall who had an ERCP done on his pancreas that day, and he was dealing with chronic pancreatitis because of trauma. I'm pretty sure he had gotten into a car accident or a motorcycle accident. I can't remember right this second, but he had trauma to his pancreas, and it had caused him problems for years. He had to have multiple ERCPs because of the accident they had had. Certain medications can cause pancreatitis. Mumps can cause pancreatitis. High calcium levels in the body and the blood can cause pancreatitis. Pancreatic cancer. Smoking. And smoking is, I think, the top cause of pancreatitis. It is right before alcohol as causes. So I think smoking is number one, and then alcohol is number two in causes of pancreatitis. Diabetes can cause it, and family history or genetics can cause pancreatitis as well. So now that we talked about the causes of pancreatitis, let's talk about the symptoms of pancreatitis. Well, the number one symptom of pancreatitis is pain, and stomach pain at that. Left middle quadrant, so right underneath your rib cage. It can radiate to like the center of your stomach too. It just really depends. But I would say anywhere from like the middle of your stomach over to the left-hand side, and just kind of like, in that area right there. So if I was to stand up, like, this is my rib cage right here. So like from the middle of your stomach here over, and then like around here. So you're gonna feel pain in this general area right here. So like that area right there, and it's gonna hurt. I mean, hurt very, very bad. Like the worst stomach ache you've ever had in your entire life. And the thing about it too is that stomach pain not only hangs around in your stomach area, but it moves over to your back as well. And that's when things get really, really, really uncomfortable. The back pain, I'm telling you guys, I've spoken about this so many times on here. I was literally flopping around on the hospital bed like a fish, because it hurt so bad. I could not get comfortable. And this is after pain medication too, guys. And I'm not talking about, some little pain pill or something. I'm talking about IV Dilaudid or IV morphine, that I have had these super strong IV pain medications and it didn't touch the pain. It might have eased it for a few minutes, but it comes right back. And guys, I promise you, this is one of those things you do not want to end up with. Because, like I said, they'll give you pain medication and it still hurts. It does not totally go away. So, pain in the stomach and in the back, nausea and vomiting, and you will be nauseous and you probably will vomit. You have absolutely no appetite whatsoever. You cannot eat. You feel so sick. You feel like you have like a stomach flu times 100, with the worst back pain and stomach pain that you have ever felt in your life. Fever. You'll probably end up with a fever as well. Once again, it feels like a really bad flu. Fatty stool. So you can get really light colored stool, floating stool. I know this sounds gross, but it's got to be talked about. If you notice that you have like oil floating on the top of the toilet water, and your stool looks really oily, and it smells really, really bad, that's indicative of having pancreatitis as well. Pain in the back, I've already talked about this, but I'm talking about pain. It feels like somebody just took a baseball bat and just whacked you like right in the center of your back as hard as they could. I mean, that's what it feels like. Or somebody put your back in a vice and they're just tighten it more and more and more. It just hurts. I really, there's no words to describe it. You would have to go through it to understand what I'm talking about. And for those of you who are on this channel who have either had an acute pancreatic attack, or you have chronic pancreatitis, please put it in the comments for people to read. And guys that are new to this channel, please go into the comment section and read those comments. Read what the people are sharing on there. Read what they're saying. Listen to them. This is something that you do not want to end up with. And I know I keep saying this over and over again, but it's the reason I'm here on this channel, guys. It's the reason I come on here every single day to talk to you all. Because I want to educate people. I want to make people aware of how dangerous this can be and what can happen. Because it's horrible. And once again, one of the reasons I come on here every day is because I had no idea what any of this stuff was until I ended up with it. I didn't do my due diligence and do my homework. I didn't look anything up on Google. I was always too afraid to. I've never been the type to get on WebMD. It freaks me out. My wife is one of those people. She'll get on there, but I won't. Speaking of it, I said in the live yesterday I was going to try to get my wife to come on here today, but she's got entirely too much stuff to get done with her animals today. She just couldn't break free to help me come on here today. She will come on next week, though. I told her, please, can you come on? Everybody's been asking. So I'm going to bring her on next week. But she just couldn't do it today. My wife's an accountant. She's working 6 days a week right now because it's tax season. I think April 15th is the last day that she has to work 6 days, or the last week she works 6 days. But she did say that she'll come on next weekend. So I'll talk more about that throughout the week. But she is going to come on next Sunday. I just couldn't get her on today. But anyway, let's go back to these symptoms here. Pain in the back, left shoulder blade. Just like I was talking about the other day, when I was noticing that my health was starting to be compromised, I said that I was getting these like weird pains in my right shoulder blade that's associated with liver. Well, same thing can happen with pancreatitis, but you'll get right here in your left shoulder blade this like pain that just like shoots right down through your shoulder. And it can just stay there too. But that's another one of the symptoms that can happen. Tenderness in your stomach area, like if anybody touches it. And a lot of times too, the doctors, if you go to the hospital, the doctors, especially like the hospitalists, because they have to come around every single morning, they'll come in and they'll want to touch on your stomach. And they'll just take their fingers and kind of poke around. It'll be really, really tender to the touch. And it'll make you jump. Because it is so tender. And then last but not least, a rapid pulse. It can increase your blood pressure, your heart rate can increase. But like I said, this really is looks like the flu with a really bad stomach and back pain. But please get this checked out. If you feel like this is happening to you, don't waste any time. Just go to the doctor or go to your hospital. They can do a really quick blood test and they can find out pretty quickly. But if you go to the hospital, they're probably going to draw blood and they're probably going to give you a CAT scan. One thing though is that if you do think that something like this is happening, this is the time that you're going to need to be honest about the amount of alcohol that you drink, the frequency of your consumption. You need to be 100% open and honest with your doctors because, one, it's going to depend on your aftercare. And they just need to know these types of things. It's just really important. Because if you tell them, you go in there and your stomach hurts, your back's killing you, and the doctor says, do you drink? And you say, not really, well, they might start looking for something else. But if you go in there and you say, my back and my stomach are killing me, I'm throwing up, and just so you know, doc, I drink a case of beer every single day, and I've been doing so for the past 20 years. They're going to go, we're checking for pancreatitis right away. They're probably going to send you right off to get a CAT scan done because, in their mind, they're going, this is pancreatitis. So, once again, these are the times to be honest with your doctor. I know it's not comfortable. That's that pollen, guys, is just getting in my lungs. But I know it's not comfortable. I know it's not what we want to do. But once again, these are the times that you need to be 100% open and honest with your doctor because your life kind of depends on it. So there are two types of pancreatitis as well. There is acute pancreatitis, which is like a one-off. You get pancreatitis one time and you don't get it again. But then there's also chronic pancreatitis, to where your pancreas has been damaged pretty badly from multiple cases of acute pancreatitis. And once that happens, then you're dealing with pancreatitis basically for the rest of your life. Is it as painful as a one-off acute? It depends. I would say no. The intensity is not as bad as the acute. But at the same time as well, I think that experience plays a lot to do with this as well. If you've had acute pancreatitis 20 times and then you find out you've got chronic pancreatitis, you're pretty adjusted to what pancreatitis feels like. So dealing with the chronic pancreatitis is not going to be as bad as the acute that you had the first couple of times, but it's still not comfortable. I deal with chronic pancreatitis. I have to be very, very careful about the foods that I consume. Fat is a huge one. You got to be very, very careful about the amount of fat that you consume. Basically, no fat. You don't want to eat any fat hardly at all. And spicy food is another thing you got to be very careful with. You just basically want to stay away from spicy foods and fatty foods. Processed foods, you want to stay away from those. Anything really high in carbohydrates, you want to stay away from that because that can really irritate your pancreas. If you eat a big old plate of pasta, it's going to give your pancreas a serious workout, which could stress it out and push to the point of pancreatitis again. So, like I was talking about, the symptoms of chronic are, once again, pain, belly pain, especially after eating, especially if you eat something really fatty or high in carbohydrates. Losing weight unexpectedly and you haven't done anything. You're not trying to lose weight, but you just start losing weight. And oily or smelly stools. The losing weight part, I think, has a lot to do with if you have chronic pancreatitis, your stomach hurts all the time, which is you're going to be afraid to eat. And you're really going to be picky about what you put in your mouth. And that's just, that's just the way it is. If your stomach hurts all the time, you're probably going to not eat as much as you used to. And another thing too, you might go to, let's say you're in the car with a bunch of friends and they pull up McDonald's. You might think twice about ordering that big cheeseburger or something. You might just eat an apple or something like that because or drink a protein shake because you're not going to get a stomach ache. So you're eating less. You're paying very close attention to what you're eating as well, which you'll start to lose weight. And not to mention as well, but when your pancreatic enzymes, if you have chronic pancreatitis, your enzymes aren't working correctly. Your pancreas isn't producing the enzymes correctly. Your pancreas has been damaged. It's just not working right. And those enzymes help break down the food, which help to absorb those minerals, nutrients, all the good stuff in the food that you need, which can lead to like malnutrition. Something I've been dealing with, and just here recently have I started to pick up some weight. I have dealt with, malnutrition for so long. Every time I go to the doctor to have blood work done, they tell me I have malnutrition. Now I don't. But I have worked so hard to get to where I am right now. I just can't explain it. I have to watch every single thing that I eat so closely. I just can't just pick something up and just go eat it. I mean, I got to really like pick up the label, look at it, or look it up on my phone and go, okay, how many grams of fat are in this, and yada, yada, yada. It's just a pain in the butt. And I mean, that's just the honest God truth. So what can happen because of pancreatitis? Well, kidney failure can happen. Breathing problems can happen because of pancreatitis. You can get infection, and I've dealt with that. I went septic while I was in the hospital one time. Now, I did have ascites, and there was a lot of other stuff going on. Was it caused because of the pancreatitis? I don't know, and there's no way I think anybody would ever know. I did have ascites. They did drain me when I first got to the hospital, which they thought might have led to the sepsis, but I still don't know. But you can get an infection. Pseudocysts can grow on your pancreas. This is something I still deal with to this day. I've got stents. I've got a pseudocyst that's been on my pancreas since all this started. Last time that they did a CAT scan, it was like 2 centimeters long. But it's got a permanent stent in it that goes into my stomach. So that can drain off. But those pseudocysts, I've had multiple of them on my pancreas, and they've drained all of those off. A lot of them have went away. A lot of times they will go away on their own, but sometimes they don't. It just depends. But those pseudocysts can lead to other things. They can get infected. They can burst. If they get too full, they can break, which can lead to internal bleeding, and you won't even know what's going on. And also that can lead to infection. They burst. They can end up getting infected, or it can infect the fluid inside of your stomach. There's just a whole lot of issues that can happen. Pancreatitis doesn't lead to anything good, and it just leads to a lot of problems. And it's just one of those reasons to stay sober and not drink today, because you do not want to end up with this. I'm going to say that over and over and over again until I stop doing these videos, that you do not want to end up with pancreatitis. This is one of those things I have so much experience in. And I can honestly say that it is one of the worst things that I have ever gone through. I don't want to have it again, and I know I will. It is like the worst thing. And not to mention, when you go to the hospital with pancreatitis, there's no eating or drinking until your pancreas heals itself or like calms down. You are MPO. They will put you on bags. And this is another reason, too, to get into the hospital. I need to finish on these last couple right here, but I just need to add this, and it's starting to sprinkle now too. This is one of the reasons why going to the hospital is so very important. When you go to the hospital with pancreatitis, they're going to immediately put you on fluids. I cannot stress how important those fluids are for you to heal your pancreas and to get better from the pancreatitis. The fluids do wonders for your pancreas. I cannot stress this enough. And this is one of the reasons why you need to go to the hospital if you think you have pancreatitis, because they're going to put you on fluids. They're going to put you on a lot of fluids, and it's going to help your pancreas so much. I think the fluids do more than anything else, because they don't want you eating or drinking anything. You have to let your pancreas rest. So they're not going to allow you to anything by mouth, but they will give you fluids. So your pancreas isn't going to get initiated. It's not going to want to dump pancreatic enzymes. It's not going to need to dump insulin because you're eating anything. Basically, your pancreas just stops working for a little while, and it gives it a chance to heal itself. And they're keeping you hydrated with those fluids, giving you electrolytes. Maybe there's some glucose in that bag, but you're getting everything you need from those fluids, and you're going to be in the hospital bed resting, and it's going to allow your pancreas to heal itself, which, guys, I can't stress how important that is. The fluids are the most important part. Anytime I've gotten pancreatitis and like feel so bad, and then I get to the hospital and they'll put me on pain medication, still feel bad. They'll give me other medications, still feel bad. Then they start me on the fluids. And when they start me on the fluids, I instantly start to feel better after that. So once again, guys, getting to the hospital if you think you have pancreatitis is very important. But once again, you can get malnutrition from this. You can end up with diabetes because of pancreatitis, another thing that you don't want to have. And you can end up with pancreatic cancer. And guys, it is starting to rain on me right now. So, sorry to end this video so quickly, but I do need to get off because it's really starting to come down. And this rain came on pretty quick. So, sorry that I'm jumping off here so fast after doing this video, but I don't want to get soaking wet. And I've got all my equipment out here, my microphone, my camera, and everything. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here for today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And once again, I cannot stress how important it is to get, checked out if you think that you have pancreatitis. But staying sober, not going back to the bottle, not stopping by that liquor store on your way home, not going to the grocery store and walking down the beer aisle and getting, triggered and thinking about going back. Any of those things, staying sober can drastically reduce your chances of ending up with pancreatitis. I'm not saying that there's no chances at all, because I just told the story of how I was sober for 4 months and then was in the hospital with pancreatitis. So it can happen, but you can drastically reduce the chances of it happening to you. And once again, this is one of those things you do not want to end up with. There are so many other things that I could have covered on this today, but I'm just going to keep this video. I'm already at 32 minutes anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. I can talk more about it another day, my next video that I do when I talk about this, but I did want to just discuss this really quick today. So, once again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly do appreciate it. And if you stuck out all the way to the end, even though you've heard me talk about pancreatitis a million times, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Really quick before I get off of here. My wife's going to kick my butt if I don't show you guys this. She made some new mugs. She ordered new mugs. So they have a black inside on them, and then the print, and then these mugs come with a coaster. Nice bamboo wooden coaster that fits right on the top of the mug, or you can flip it over and it works as a coaster. And these come with this, so fits right on top of the mug, doesn't fall off, so you can use this to keep your coffee hot, or you can set it on your table and use it as a coaster. Nice black inside. And then we also have, so you got that print right there, and then you have this one right here with the faces all over it, and it's just white on the inside, but this one comes with a coaster as well that fits on it, or you can use it as that. So those are the cups. I've showed those to you. Links in the description for those. There are some deals that my wife started on the Amazon store as well. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what she said, but it's like if you order like 2 items, you get a free keychain or something. I think she's got it on the site. So if you go to the Amazon page, I think she's got the deals listed on there. But she does have it set up that if you buy multiple things that, you get a deal, you get a percentage off, and you get a free keychain or something like that. So go check that out if you're interested. If you would like to help support the channel and support me directly, please go to the link I'm going to put right here at the bottom, which is to buy me a coffee. I'm getting soaked out here now. If you like I said, if you like to help support the channel, no pressure, whatever, I understand times are tough right now, and if you can't, no problem. And if you can, if you feel like it, that's really awesome too. But link will be right here at the bottom. Just go to the Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can donate whatever you like on there. And there goes the thunder. And it's time for me to get off of here before I get struck by lightning. So thank you so much for watching today, guys. I truly do appreciate it. I love you guys so much. Sorry about the recording on that live yesterday. It just, like I said, I had to hop in and start another one, and the settings got changed. So I just forgot to do that, and I was rushing. So next live will be recorded, and I'll make sure that you guys can go back and watch that. So once again, I apologize about the live, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and until tomorrow, I will see you then. I love you guys so much.